Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi loves, welcome back to another video. My name is Alizea and I'm your favorite black transsexual. Get up into the big part, whatever. I'm back. Y'all, we are back with some pre-recorded content. Get up into the big part. But before we get to today's video, girl, because I know you guys seen the title, and I know y'all might be like, girl, what are we finna get into today, girl? I need you guys to brace yourselves. I need you guys to lock in. I need you guys to understand where I'm coming from, because everything that I'm going to say in this video is going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers, and I need to sit over here and really talk on some real issues and some real problems in this community. And, you know, the world, I just want to get into it. But, you know, like I said, girl, before we get into today's video, girl, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, because, girl, you would never find another black transsexual like me. Hello. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. I need you guys to go ahead and lock in on myself. So, hi guys, for the ones who are new, my name is Alizea, and welcome back to anybody who's been watching me for a while. I just want to leave viewer discretion is advised, because, like, things are going to get very ghetto, very, you know, I'm going to stay opinion-based and biased, and I'm just going to, you know, speak from my point of view. And yeah, also for anybody who's, you know, wondering, is that the same stuff that you were wearing in that last video? Girl, all these videos are pre-recorded. I'm not finna sit over here and get up and change just for another video. Girl, I'm tired. I ain't finna do all that. I'm tired. It's hot, girl. No tea, no shade. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Get up on your good foot. So today's video is about the trans rights that are at risk, because, you know, who's coming, you know, in office. You already know things are gonna get very spicy. So yeah, let's get into it. So without further ado, the first thing that I want to talk about is, let's talk about, you know, the laws and the bills that are going to take place. So a lot of people are not understanding and comprehending that this is a serious thing that we need to be talking about. My rights as a trans person is literally going to get taken away, and it's bothering me. And, you know, I'm not going to, you know, sit over here and lie. Donald Trump is about to get in office, okay? I'm going to say it. Donald Trump is getting in office. Donald Trump won. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, all hail the new president of the United States, girl. It ain't nothing we can do. It ain't nothing we can do. A lot of people were sitting over here saying, oh, my God, it's the end of the world. Girl, calm down. It's not the end of the world, girl. You act like your life ain't never been at risk, girl. Girl. You better buckle up, girl. And it ain't never gonna get easy. I told you it ain't never gonna get easy. But if I'm gonna be honest, y'all, this man, he's literally finna get in office. He's finna pass a lot of laws and let a lot of several states take control of basic human rights. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna insert the clips right here.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Donald Trump has just been elected as the next president of the United States. Here's what that means for LGBTQ+ rights. The president's re-election website features a section called Agenda 47, which has dozens of videos outlining his policies for if he returns to office. In one video titled President Trump's Plan to Protect Children from Left-Wing Gender Insanity, Trump makes clear his plans for trans rights.
On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures, and pass a law prohibiting child mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly.
Trump also pledges to sign a new executive order to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. For any hospital or healthcare provider delivering gender-affirming care to trans youth, Trump will make sure that they no longer meet the federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare.
Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children.
In terms of education, President Trump will introduce severe consequences for any teacher or school that suggests a child could be experiencing gender dysphoria.
We will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique.
The new president will also ask Congress to pass 3 bills that establish that 1. The only genders recognized by the U.S. government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. 2. Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports. In other words, banning all trans women from competing. 3. Parents must give consent in order for their child to change their gender identity.
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
During the Republican president's first term, GLAAD identified 195 anti-LGBTQ+ political attacks made by the Trump administration. Donald Trump will be officially inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States on the 20th of January, 2025.
As a Black queer woman who is now living in Texas, the potential for Project 2025 to become a reality is of particular interest to me for several reasons, but especially because of the way it's coming for LGBTQ rights. If you're unaware exactly what that looks like, let's talk about it. First, it relies heavily on the optimal child rearing argument, which is that child fared best in households with both a male and female role model, despite the fact that it was proven false by the American Psychological Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and the American Academy of Pediatrics, who all regularly filed briefs attesting that there was no scientific evidence that parenting effectiveness is related to sexual orientation. Yet, Project 2025 still baselessly states that family forms outside of heterosexual marriages involve higher levels of instability, financial stress or poverty, or poor behavioral, psychological, and educational outcomes. It uses the argument to conclude that government-funded programs should affirm that children require and deserve both the love and nurturing of a mother and the play and protection of a father. Project 2025 calls for the elimination of sexual orientation and gender identity protections in education and employment to prevent children from electing a harmful transgender identity. The Trump campaign and the former president have denied any involvement in the initiative and claim not to know anything about it, but its drafters included at least 140 Trump officials, including 6 former cabinet members. Do with that information what you will.
If re-elected, Donald Trump has indicated a strong stance on policies that would significantly impact transgender rights. His campaign has supported recommendations from Project 2025, a plan developed by conservative think tanks to increase executive power and advance socially conservative agendas. Key proposals in this plan include eliminating federal protections for gender identity and sexual orientation, blocking gender-affirming care for minors, and pressuring schools to restrict discussions about gender diversity. Trump has also expressed support for redefining gender to only include male and female assigned at birth, and enforcing this definition across federal policies and programs. This potential agenda builds on anti-trans policies seen at the state level, where conservative lawmakers have passed or proposed hundreds of anti-trans bills, including those that limit access to gender-affirming healthcare, sports participation, and discussions of LGBTQ+ topics in schools. If these policies are pursued federally, civil rights organizations like the ACLU anticipate that substantial legal battles would be necessary to counter them. In particular, advocates warn that such actions could erode civil rights protections and risk creating a more restrictive and hostile environment for LGBTQ+ individuals nationwide. While supporters of these policies argue that they protect children and uphold traditional values, LGBTQ+ advocacy groups stress that they would disproportionately harm trans individuals, particularly youth, by restricting access to supportive resources and healthcare. This has mobilized advocates to push for greater legislative protections and voter engagement in response to the anticipated policies.
It's really blowing my mind that a lot of people just don't understand the basic rights as a human being. Like, I'm a human being with feelings. My life matters. What I don't understand about a lot of people is that they're sitting over here thinking that America's going to be great when this man gets in office. America's going to be great because, you know, trans was never even a thing, and all these people after COVID just came up with this whole stuff. No, baby, we've been here for the longest, girl. I've been trans and gave my nearly whole life, if we're gonna be honest, girl. I've been gay. I just been in a closet, girl, just like your father and just like your brother, girl. It ain't nothing. It ain't never been a secret, girl. The closet is glass. No tea, no shade. And what's bothering me even more with this whole stuff that's going on in the world is that a lot of people are not really speaking up on these situations and speaking up on our rights as the trans community. A lot of people are just like, well, you know, life has been happening, you know, this is never going to change. Yes, it's never going to change. But like, what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people like to hide from these certain things. And like, what a lot of people don't understand that this man is very spot on with what he said. He said that he will ban gender-affirming care for people in the military. He's going to ban, you know, gender-affirming care for adults. He's going to ban gender-affirming care for, you know, children, teenagers. I'm like, wow. Like, baby, this is getting serious. I'm like, well, like, I just sat over here and turned 19 and you're already finna sit over and ban it? Well, like, girl, let me at least get up in a booth or whatever. This is the reason why I held off on, you know, joining the military, because I did a whole video on, you know, me wanting to join the military, but I held off because I was trying to see who was going to sit over here and win an office, and now I know, and now I'm not joining because my life will be in jeopardy and I will not be on that battlefield fighting for a man who doesn't care about me as a human being. I'm a human being with feelings, and I'm going to keep repeating that throughout this video. What a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of people are saying that, oh, these trans people in the military are using my tax dollars. They're using my money, when in reality, you have to work for that money. Them people who are on that battlefield, them people who are in the military are working. Do you not understand that? And let me sit over here and say this for the ones who are new. A lot of people have to work and fight for what they want and fight for who they are in this country, because a lot of people think that it's, you wake up, you're just trans, you're just this, you're just that. No, this stuff takes time. What do you people not understand? We are human beings, and we are human beings with feelings. This is what bothers me in this whole world, and this is what bothers me in this community. So what I want to say is that, a lot of people are, saying like, oh my God, the world is going to end. And I want a lot of people to understand that, no, baby, the world is going to get serious. And this is the time to lock in. And this is the time to sit over here and prepare for the worst. I have already been prepared for the worst because, baby, I was born a black, dark-skinned trans woman in Texas. So, I live in the most conservative state. I don't care what anybody says. I live in the ghetto, girl. Yes, Texas is ghetto. Texas is disgusting. Texas is miserable. And it's been miserable my whole life, but I always look on the bright side of things. And I want a lot of trans women who are watching this video to look on the bright side of things. I want a lot of people to understand that Project 2025 is coming into play, and it's getting serious, girl. And I need a lot of people to understand who are not comprehending the severity of this situation that we're finna get into. And if you don't know what Project 2025 is, I'm gonna insert a clip right here.
Y'all talking about irrelevant bull, Cardi this, be a that, girl, you need to be doing your homework. Because Project 2025 is a fool. And if you haven't heard about it, let me enlighten you real quick. So Project 2025 will be implemented by the Republican Party come January 20th of next year if said candidate is elected. Meaning that for women, you will no longer have access to birth control. No IUD, no Nexplanon, no Depo, no pills. You will no longer be able to terminate a pregnancy due to a medical issue, due to an unfortunate event or a choice. Hang it up, flat screen. If you are a single mother, you are on the chopping block. If you have a child that goes to a T1 school, they are on the chopping block. If you are a part of the LGBTQIA community, girl, you're on the chopping block. Hang it up, flat screen. You won't have any type of sex discrimination coverage, meaning that if your job decides to fire you because you're gay, they're gonna fire you and won't have to deal with any type of repercussions. If you are trans, you won't be able to enroll in the military. You will not receive Medicare nor Medicaid coverage, girl. You done for. You suffer from mental or physical disabilities, girl, chopping block, hang it up, flat screen. If you are Muslim, there will be Muslim bans. If you suffer from substance abuse, you are a target. There will be mass deportations, girl. If you are a college student receiving Pell Grants, you're done for. Critical race theory and gender ideology will no longer be talked about. It will not, no. Oh my gosh, they're going to even try to get rid of the Department of Education. And I'm sure there's a lot that I missed because it's 920 pages of bull nonsense. But y'all need to make sure y'all do what y'all need to do to make sure this is not implemented. Because girl, if it is, I'm leaving.
Project 2025 is a far-right manifesto. It is a 1,000-page bucket list of extremist policies that would uproot every government agency and disrupt the lives of every person who calls this country home. The Department of Education would be eliminated, cutting students off from civil rights protections and ending essential Title I funding for K-12 schools. The Department of Justice would go on a murdering spree. It would rush to use the death penalty and expand its use to even more people while circumventing due process protections. Project 25 not only calls for national book bans in schools, but also creates a list of banned words for the federal government that would be deleted from, quote, every federal rule, agency regulation, contract, grant, and piece of legislation that exists, end quote. Here are just a few of the words on the list: diversity, gender, reproductive health, and of course, conservatives want to ban the word abortion. On that note, abortion care would be inaccessible and illegal no matter where you live. Now, we could have an entire hearing on how these policies would quite literally ruin and end lives, and I didn't even touch upon proposals for housing, climate change, worker protections, and more. If enacted, Project 2025 would destroy the federal government as we know it.
People forget there are serious risks for the most vulnerable in the U.S. if Trump is elected, and the data from his last presidency proves it. Evidence shows that anti-immigrant sentiment, racism, and sexism are strongly related to support for Trump, which isn't surprising. But data also shows that following Trump's election in 2016, there was an abnormal spike in hate crimes in counties where Trump won by bigger margins. It was the second largest increase in hate crimes in all of the 25 years the data is available, only second to the rise of hate crimes following 9/11. More data shows that historically, hate crimes typically become more frequent in the summer, but in 2016, they peaked from October to December, right around when the election was happening. That new higher rate continued throughout all of 2017, Trump's first full year in office. Another study showed that counties that hosted a Trump campaign event in 2016 had more than double the hate crime rates than similar counties that didn't host a rally. It wasn't just Trump's campaign rhetoric that did this. It was the fact that he was elected president that validated his rhetoric to perpetrators and fueled crimes against groups like Black people, queer people, and religious minorities. This is one of the many reasons it bothers me when people equate MAGA and Democrats as just as bad as the other. One represents moving forward, the other represents going back.
So let me enlighten a lot of people who do not understand the severity of this situation. Project 2025 is going to wake up America. It's going to sit over here and enlighten a lot of people and humble a lot of people. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me break this down a little more. If you are in the LGBTQ community, you will not be getting any gender-affirming health care for your, hormones, for any of your surgeries. All that Medicaid out the window. You don't get it. If you are a Black woman, if you are a single mother, if you are an American and you are sitting over here, having something going on down there, but you can't sit over here and, take care of that child. So you want to sit over here and, let that child go. Oh, baby, no. You're going to jail if you eliminate that child. You're going to prison for 15 years. So what bothers me is that there's still conservative trans women, there's still conservative LGBTQ community people who are still on the right, still sitting over here rooting for a man who's going to take away your rights. You are a gay person, you are a homosexual, you are a trans individual, you are a transsexual, you are seen as lesser than. There's no ifs, ands, there are no buts around it. Things are finna get serious, things are finna get crazy, and things are finna get expensive. A lot of people need to understand this is the time to lock in. I've been saying this for the longest, and I've been saying this for literally ever since I got on YouTube and ever since I got on the internet, that you need to sit over here and love yourself before you get on them hormones. Because a lot of people think that, oh, I got my hormones now, my insecurities are gonna go away. Girl, no, they're not. And girl, now your hormones are finna get taken away. Girl, now you're gonna have to start paying out of pocket. Girl, you better wake it up. You better wake it up. Girl, I'm telling a lot of people that you need to sit over here and literally wake up. This is the time to love yourself. They're literally planning to take away education and freedom of speech for a lot of people. And this isn't just for the gay community. This isn't just about gay education. This is about Black education as well. And what a project is essentially, what a Project 2025 is essentially saying, and sorry for my stuttering, they're literally saying there is two genders, girl and boy, male and female. No ifs, ands, or buts around it. You sitting over here saying that you're this way, that you're that way. Oh, baby, hang it up flat screen, girl. You're going to get exiled. Girl, they're going to sit over here and put you in the back burner and go put you in jail, girl, at this point, literally. And that's what a lot of people are not understanding. Me as a trans person, my life matters, and it blows my mind that they're literally allowing this stuff. I'm a human being. I'm a human being with feelings. I'm not an object. I'm not a creature. I'm not just some random person. I'm a human being with feelings. My sisters are human beings with feelings.
If you are not trans, stop acting like you know more about being transgender than a trans person. I get so tired of people trying to explain to me what my life is like, what my experiences are like, and defining them for me. I think a trans person knows a lot more about being trans than you do. If you are not trans, you don't live the life, then you don't understand the experience. You may understand some theory, but you don't understand the reality. Even allies that I'm friends with, close friends, they say things to me that are just incorrect, misunderstandings, and I have to let them know what they said is wrong and why. It doesn't matter what you read on the internet, what you think. All trans people's experiences are going to be different, number one. one. And number two, sometimes the things that you read on the internet are incorrect. One will say one thing, one will say the other. Just get to know trans people and stop speaking over us and telling us what our life is. There are also going to be people with those supposed credentials and research who want to say anti-trans stuff.
Bathrooms and not have to share a restroom with a biological man.
Honey, no shade, but all the shade in the world. I'm pretty sure if I was in the bathroom with you and there was a trans person reported in it and the police were investigating, I'm pretty sure I would be the last person they would look at before they ever get to you. And I'm just gonna keep it at that. It is just so funny to me how you people are so afraid of us trans women being in the bathroom with you. But yeah, I know damn well, if I reach for that tampon machine or I asked you personally for one, you wouldn't bat a damn eye. But you bring your mother in there and she asked me for one, I would look crazy for suspecting it. Ooh. All I'm gonna say is, you people are so stuck on trying to limit our rights when we're not even deeply affecting you. How many people do you know in real life that have been assaulted by a trans woman? Okay, and then how many women do you know in real life that have been assaulted by men? Men in alleyways, men in their bedroom after they put something in your drink after the club. But yet somehow, the people who are voting to protect your rights, your access to healthcare, and our access to healthcare and our rights, suddenly we're the enemy. You are so blinded by ignorance and this hateful fascist campaign that your leader has told you, aka just your, natural ability to support a white man because your daddy told you to, because, white privilege and the way white people are brought up in this country, especially coming from backgrounds like yourself, left to just support their own system. But that's besides the point. I just find it so ironic.
What do y'all not understand? A lot of people are thinking that a lot of trans women want to sit over here and take away women's rights. They want to sit over here and invade women's spaces. You see a white trans woman, and I'm saying a white trans woman because, girl, it's getting crazy that it's lighter complexion trans women who are getting on the internet and putting bad raps on us. And I'm going to wake it up flat screen. That's why I said viewer discretion is advised, because I'm going to wake it up. I'm literally getting so blown out of proportion that we're seeing lighter skinned trans women get on the internet and speak for the whole trans community, and they get pushed in the forefront. They get pushed and their content gets pushed in this algorithm, and you sit over here and see that they're saying, oh, I'm this way, I'm that way, I'm a trans woman, I'm a real biological woman.
For weeks, we're going to be hearing the left come up with convenient truths about how this happened that Trump won. And if you really are invested in wanting to know how this happened and not just having angry excuses while you're grieving, I will tell you how this happened. The left should be self-reflecting instead of projecting. They're going to be justifying, blaming independent voters, Republicans, etc. This wasn't about the patriarchy. This wasn't about race, sexism, homophobia, or transphobia. This was a rejection of political correctness to the point of overcorrection. This was a rejection of political correctness gone mad. And as someone myself who used to have Trump derangement syndrome, we don't have the luxury of political correctness when we're just trying to survive. It's not just a lot of people now not relying on mainstream media. They're actually doing their own research, listening to independent news, podcasts, looking up the quotes that the mainstream media twisted against Trump in the past that were never things he said. It's not only that. It's not only people being tired of being called transphobic just because they don't agree with certain sports things, or they think, well, let's wait a little later before we start hormones. People are tired of being labeled as transphobic or homophobic just because they disagree on certain issues. People are also tired of just being labeled as racist for voting for Trump. Also going back to how the media has misquoted him many times. It is no longer a winning strategy. People have prioritized surviving and what they feel is best for their families and the country over identitarianism. And even me being a trans person, how selfish would I be? People said to me, you're turning on your brothers and sisters. No, I'm not. I represent myself and no one else, first of all. And secondly, do you know how minimizing it is to look at a trans person and say you're supposed to think within this box? Or any other minority? How small of you to expect that of someone, first of all. And then, of course, they're just going to say to me, well, Carrie, you're white. And you would be right. But you would also be perpetuating the very thing that is losing votes in this country, which is identitarianism and culture wars. People are exhausted from it, and they just want to be able to survive and put food on the table. But how selfish would I be as a trans person to say, well, I'm trans, y'all, and even though I don't think this candidate's what's best for the country, I'm going to vote for this person because she is giving me my propaganda. How stupid do you think I am?
And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about, like, privilege. She's thinking with privilege. You're thinking not outside the box. Like, you're saying, like, okay, I agree with some of her points where she said, like, yes, I'm a trans individual. I can think for myself. I don't have to sit over here and pander. Okay, girl, kudos for you. But let's sit over here and actually talk about reality. You were born a biological male. This is what a lot of trans women do not understand. A lot of trans people do not understand. You were born a biological male. How can you as a trans woman sit over here and be a conservative when they will never ever sit over here and see you as a woman? Let that sink in. This is why I don't understand about some conservatives. You might not agree with everything that a LGBTQ person or a trans person is doing or whatever they got going on in their life, girl. Kudos for you. I've been there, done that. I ain't finna do it no more, girl. No tea, no shade. But what's bothering me is that people are not understanding this is not just going to affect the small majority. This is going to affect everybody. You're not really sitting over here thinking outside the box. You're not thinking for the people. You're thinking with ignorance. This is what I talk about when I'm saying privilege. These people don't have to worry about, like, am I going to have to sit over here and duck and hide my identity to not sit over here and get hate crime? There are people who would never be able to sit over here and get hormones for the rest of their life because of stuff like this. This is ignorant. This is selfish. This is selfish. People will sit over here and do anything they can to get on them hormones because that's what sits over here and affirms their gender. That's what sits over here and makes them happy. This is what makes me sad. It's sad that people are not thinking outside the box. It's sad that people are not being careful with what they say on the internet. We are trans individuals. I am a transgender individual. My rights matter as a human being. I am a human being. We all are human beings, and that's what people don't understand. So when I see conservative trans people, it's like, oh my God, how can you even be considered, trans? How can you even consider yourself a conservative? Like, this is why I don't understand when people throw out the box, Alizé is a conservative. Alizé got conservative ways. I would never ever be a conservative because I'm black, 1. 2, I'm dark skin, and 3, I'm trans. Girl, they would never ever consider me as a conservative. So any trans individual who thinks that they're conservative and thinks I need to think like this, I need to think like that, kudos to you. But reality always hits. Karma always hits. You're gonna get hit with a brick and you're gonna be like, oh y'all, I didn't mean to sit over here and say that. Girl, you're exiled. Goodbye. Next. I know as a trans woman, I'm a trans woman. I don't want to be a biological woman. I was never meant to be born a biological woman. Thank God I'm not born a biological woman. I'm Alizé. I'm black and I'm trans and I'm beautiful, and I will always stand on that. I've already accepted who I am as a person. And I feel like a lot of trans people in this community accept who they are as trans people. We are human beings, though. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to these topics. We get the bad representation in the media. Every time there's a trans person in the media, it's not good. It's never good representation. It's always negative press. Literally. And this whole division of what a real woman is, what it takes to be a real woman, I will always say this. I'm a trans woman, and I will always stand on me being a trans woman. I don't want to be anything else. I don't want to be anything lesser. I don't want to be anything greater. I want to be me because I love me. I was put on this earth to be myself. I was put on this earth to be me. And I can't stand when a lot of people get on the internet and a lot of people get in people's comment sections and say, well, you're a guy. You need to dress like a guy. Girl, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, girl. I was never meant to be a guy, girl. I was never meant to be a guy because, girl, no tea, no shade, baby. Girl, I'm gonna, be factual, girl. The genetics, girl, they ain't kicking until I was 18, let alone 19, girl. And you sitting over here talking about, oh, baby, you need to be a man, girl. I don't know how to be no man, girl. I don't know how to dress like no man. I don't know how to present like no man. I don't even know how to do the deep voice. Girl, my deep voice sounds fake, like no tea, no shade. But let me get back on track. These laws will allow discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community, and this is what bothers me. This includes business, this includes schools, this includes organizations. They are denying access and they are denying any services to you. And a lot of people are dismissing it, saying, oh, I'm good, I pass in society. Baby, you will always be seen as a man in society's, in society's world. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Let's cut the foolery and let's cut the delusion, okay? I'm being real when I'm speaking, okay? I want you to listen to me, okay? Trans person to trans person, anybody watching this, I want you to listen to me, okay? This is serious. This is a very wrong, bill that's getting passed. And what a lot of people are not understanding, no matter what, everybody deserves respect and everybody deserves the rights as a human being. But a lot of people are dismissing it, saying that you are not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be this way, la-di-di-di-da. And to add on to this, I want to say that I was born a biological male, but I lived my life as a trans woman. When a lot of people sit over here and say that, I'm saying that trans women are trans women, a lot of people are thinking that I'm sitting over here acting like Blair White, saying that, trans women are biological men and need to dress like men. You live your life as a man. I don't live my life as a man, because what is the point of sitting over here considering myself as a man? There's no point in transitioning if I consider myself a man. That makes no sense as a trans woman. So when I see Blair White, when I see Eden the Doll, when I see all these trans women of lighter skin complexions say this type of rhetoric and say this type of stuff, they'll clickbait. Like, there's Republicans, there's conservatives that will steal those clips and push those agendas and say that this is how trans women present themselves, when no. This is what I'm talking about when I say that not every trans woman thinks like that. I am a trans individual. I think for myself. Every trans individual feels differently. You might not agree with me. You might not agree with anything I'm saying. You don't have to agree with anything I'm saying. But I am a transgender individual and my rights matter. My life matters. Everything that I'm saying matters. I'm an individual and I have a heart. I have feelings. I'm not just a creature. I'm not just an object. I'm not just a mental health issue. I'm not just a mental health disorder. I don't have mental health disorders, like all the extra stuff that people are saying. Like, I'm a human. So back on track, what this means is that you as a trans individual, they are stripping you from your rights. I know a lot of trans people, desire their name changed. They desire to legally change your name legally, and to change your gender marker on your birth certificate, your passports. There's laws that are coming into place that are going to take that away. How do I say it? Countrywide. I think it's countrywide, worldwide. Girl, no tea, no shade, baby. Let's stay on track with my illiteracy or whatever. But this is serious and nobody's talking about this. No real big influencers are talking about this. I hate that I have to be the black individual that I am to get on the internet and talk about this, because nobody else is talking about this. I was kind of waiting it out with the whole, election stuff and the whole stuff that was going on around the country, but nobody's talking about this. They're only talking about the surface level issues. And me as a trans woman, I'm more than an object. I'm more than just, a stigma. I'm a human being. And a lot of trans women are, sitting over here, calling the hotlines. I'm not going to say the words, but they're calling the S hotlines. They're sitting over here making all these phone calls, sitting over here, trying to escape. They're trying to get into, Canada, trying to sit over here and, revoke their citizenship. It's not that serious, okay? Yes, your rights are going to get stripped. Yes, you're going to sit over here and have a rude awakening in your transition. But, baby, I want to be the one to tell you this. It was always going to be meant to be like this. I'm trying to say this without, saying it controversially. It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. Me, I never beat myself up for anything that happens in this world, because everything happens for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to speak, the way I really want to speak, from the heart. Everything's meant to happen for a reason. So this whole, oh my God, he won, it's the end of the world. I never looked at it like this. Like, okay, he won, so what is it now? This is time to lock in. This is the time to clock in, save, get to where you need to be. This is the time to do that. There's no run around it. There's no being depressed, sitting over here eating buckets of ice cream, eating junk food, being depressed in your house, sitting over here, crying every day. There's no time for that. This is a time to get up and fight for your rights. You're going to have to sit over here and build a community now. This is the time to build a community. This is the time to start doing research and starting to sit over here and figure out, what is your next game plan? Me as a trans woman, I already know my game plan. My game plan is to move to a better state. And if anything, I just know where I want to be. I know, girl, I'm always going to be criticized for my transition, but who cares if people don't see me as a woman? Who cares if people don't see me as a human being? Girl, bada bing, bada boom, blocks. Bada ba ba blocks. I don't care. Who really cares? I'm a human being. And, I know everybody is capable of, it's time to, become strong. I know, it's time, save, I'm telling y'all this, but y'all might not comprehend what I'm trying to say. But like I'm saying this a lot, like everybody has the same 24 hours as Beyonce. So what you do with your time, that's what's gonna, affect you in the long run or whatever, right? You sitting over here being lazy. You sitting over here watching TikTok and watching all this negative press and watching all these negative content. Like it's gonna shape you. It's gonna make you more depressed. I don't ever try to lay on the negative content. I don't ever try to watch negative content. When that man won, I turned my phone off and deleted the app, girl. Immediately cut the app off. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't care. I don't care. I know exactly what's going to happen, and we're stuck 5 years with this stuff. We're stuck 5 years of being attacked, okay? A lot of people need to lock in. This isn't going to go away. This is going to get real. It's going to get real. As a trans woman, myself, and I know it's going to get real. I'm not going to sit over here and be depressed. I'm not going to sit over and beat myself up. I'm grown now. It's time to lock in, bro. It's time to lock in. Sister to sister, queen to queen, butch queen to butch queen, box Chevy to box Chevy. Like, it's time to lock in. I'm telling you, you're going to have to learn to love yourself in these hard times. You're going to have to learn this because in this time, like, a lot of people don't understand that you're going to have to learn how to prevail through a lot of people bullying you. Bullying is never going to go away. And to my trans individuals who are in high school, I feel for you, sisters. I feel for you because it's going to get real. They're really going to strip you from your rights and it's not going to go away. But this is the time to fight. I was one of those trans people who always fought for what they wanted. And I was just an individual, like even before I was trans, I've always fought for what I wanted because I knew who I was. Before my mama flipped over and died on me, girl, and she's now 6 feet under the ground, girl, she told me to love myself. She told me to always be myself. So if you don't have nobody in your life to tell you to be yourself and tell you to love yourself, I'm the person to tell you that you need to love yourself. And this is the only time to love yourself. It's fun to get hard, sisters. And I'm telling you, and I don't want to cry and I don't want to sit over here and get emotional, but I'm telling you, it's time to lock in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no running around it. It's time to lock in. It's not going to be easy the next years of your transition. It's going to get hard. They're going to strip you from your rights. And nobody is talking about it because nobody cares about you. You're transgender. You're a trans individual. They don't care about you. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about what you got going on. So now it's time for you to love yourself because you need to care about yourself, bro. It's time to lock in, bro.
The reason I haven't spoke about the election is because, baby, there's nothing to say. As a trans woman, I've survived the Trump presidency before. I live in North Carolina. I was a trans woman when the first bathroom bill dropped, HB2. Baby, I was on the front lines. I already know how to do this, so I'm not worried. I woke up, I seen the election results. I said, okay, got ready for work, clocked in, left that job, went to my next job and clocked in. And if you're a trans woman, all this election means is you gotta lock in. Take care of what you gotta take care of. Take care of your paperwork, get your letters together, your prescriptions together, anything you've been holding off as far as your transition, get it together while you can. And if you got it together, stay locked in and do what you gotta do. We already know. We know what to do. And this is from the girl that works 16 hours a day because I'm getting my FFS. I know what I gotta do, so I'm doing it. When the election happened, I didn't stop for a second and think. It was go mode. It was go mode. And if you're trans, you have to be in go mode. Nothing can stop. You can't even take a moment to stop and breathe. Because baby, they coming up behind you. So keep moving. That's what you gotta do. So if you know you need to get your insurance together, do what you gotta do. If you know you need to get your gender marker together, do what you gotta do. You know you need to get your name change together, do what you gotta do. Ain't nothing else to say. Do what you know you gotta do. And with that being said, there is a video pinned on my page on how to change your gender marker and your name based on your state. Collect that resource and collect all the resources you can. Like I said, we know what to do. Just do it.
If you don't have tough skin and discipline, you don't need to transition. If you don't have any self-confidence, put the hormones down and wipe the makeup off. Because when the girls say this is not for the weak, they are not just trying to kiki. The reason why you need tough skin is because when you are first starting out, people are going to misgender you on purpose. There are a lot of people that are going to respect your pronouns, but there are some people that are going to disrespect your pronouns. And I understand that it's going to sting, but you cannot let that hurt and that sadness ring in your spirit. You cannot absorb, you need to ignore. You cannot reflect that, you need to deflect that. You need to have confidence so that you can stand on business and stand on principle and stand in the boundaries that you've set for yourself and other people around you. You cannot be easily persuaded because you will have cisgendered friends who do not understand the experience, and of course they don't because they're not trans. But when you let them know, okay, I'm not going to go there or I'm not going to go there because I know it's not a safe space for me, and they try to convince you otherwise, I need you to stand 10 toes down and let them know, I've already told you I'm not going here. So you're either going to go with somebody else or you're going to go by yourself whole. I don't care what you do, but what you're not going to do is make me feel like I'm the villain because I'm not the villain. My safety is not a joke and my safety is not up for debate and my safety is not a negotiation. Jennifer. You cannot be easily persuaded because you have to transition at your own pace. There are a lot of girls who socially transition before they medically transition. You have girls who medically transition before they socially transition. You have some girls who get that FFS and then let the world know. I know for me, I waited about a year and a half in on my HRT journey before I said anything. Honestly and truly, I wish I would have waited until after my FFS to then do the social transition. And that's just me. That's just how I feel. Do what works best for you. Another thing. When it comes to these cisgendered women, I love the fact that they support us and empower us and encourage us, but do not let them dress you. You can get constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you know how your body type is set up, do not let them put you in things that are going to make you feel insecure. I was playing dress up with my homegirl. It was her idea. She wanted me to try on one of her bodycon dresses. Super cute on her, but when I put it on, I looked like Joanna Man. I'm 120 pounds, but that does not mean that everything on me is flattering. And I'm looking in the mirror, and I know I look a mess. And she's trying to tell me I look my best. And she's trying to tell me, oh, you're worried about the patriarchy and the male gaze. No, I'm worried about the fact that I look like a bodybuilder in this extra small dress, and you're trying to tell me otherwise. I'm not wearing this. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot be easily persuaded. Because what we're going to do is live in a reality-based world here. That's what we're going to do, okay? I know social media likes to make you think that, you can just, listen, you can do whatever you want to do, but that's why I say you also have to have tough skin, because people's going to have their opinions, and that's just what it is. Opinions, not actual factual, not law. It's opinions, not law. I suggest getting you some trans friends. If you can't get them physically, get them virtually. TikTok has a huge trans community. There's panels all the time. There are people out there that you can come to for advice and all that good stuff.
And to any of my trans individuals who feel like, what do I do? I don't have nothing to do. I don't have no resources. Girl, I got you. I got some resources for you. There's the Trans Lifeline. They provide emotional, and mental health support around the country. They have a phone number. They also have a website. I will link all these things that I'm talking about down below because, I want to help people. There's also the Trevor Project. And I also look, to the side or whatever because I don't want to, look cockeyed and stuff on camera, my little, everybody got their little insecurities or whatever, get up into it. But, I'm also looking to the side because, I have everything written down because, you got to sit over here and, look like you're talking about something. Like, you got to, talk, you get what I mean. But let me stop. But there's also the Trevor Project. It's a crisis and intervention organization to help LGBTQ, youth via phone call. And it's strictly for the youth. They strictly help for the youth. They will give you resources. They will help you. They will try to help you as best as they can with the gender, affirming care. They will try to get you resources. They will even try to help, with any type of way. Like, girl, when I tell you the Trevor Project is about their business, they about their business. Because, girl, I ain't gonna spill too much, but girl, I had a little interview with them, not no shade. And there's more organizations down below in the description, girl. I'm gonna link all of them because, I'm trying to help my sisters. I'm really trying to help my sisters in a time like this. Life is gonna get real and it's not gonna get easy. This is the time to lock in. I will say this loud and proud. You do not need hormones to sit over here and feel like you're trans and to feel greater than. You don't need hormones to sit over here and feel like you're trans, okay? Yes, hormones will help you. Yes, hormones are, the best way to, sit over here and feel comfortable in yourself. But me as a trans woman, they don't make me feel less than. I made a video about it making me feel less than, but now I'm back in safe and secure, girl. I'm good, girl. I've gotten off that side of the internet. I'm back. I'm back, baby. But I want a lot of trans women to understand that you are beautiful the way that you are. You are not disgusting. You are not less than. You are a beautiful human being. You are a beautiful individual. If nobody's going to tell you that they love you, I love you. I want you guys to understand that this is the time to stand 10 toes down. And this is the time for things to get real. Things are going to get real and you need to lock in on my soul. I want a lot of people to understand that this is your life and you get to choose your life and nobody's going to sit over here and choose your path for you. So you got to be the one to sit over here and hold your own hand, okay? I wasn't sit over here and, raised by the, best parents. My mother did what she could for me with the time that she was alive. So now I got to sit over here and carry my own support. Now I got to be my own support system. I want a lot of people to understand if that you don't have a support system, sometimes you got to be your own support system. Sometimes you got to sit over here and love yourself. This is the time to love yourself. You sitting over here beating yourself up saying that, oh my God, life is over. Life is not over, girl. I'm telling you, if you're still alive, if you're still waking up every single day, you're here. You have a purpose, love. Your purpose is to live and prevail. You have a voice. Speak up. Jesus Christ. If you're getting discriminated against, they can't shush everybody. Speak up. If you're getting discriminated against, speak up. I've always spoken up, even when I was in high school. When I got kicked out the girls' restroom, little story time. I got kicked out the girls' restroom. You thought I was going to sit over here and shush myself? Girl, no, I ran straight to the internet and I voiced my struggles. And girl, we got that thing switched. We got that, I got my rights back in the restroom, girl, because I'm a trans individual. I don't creep under stalls. I don't care about what, women got going on. I'm here to, use the restroom and go out. Because a lot of women and a lot of people, just in the whole cisgender community, a lot of people think that, a lot of trans women are creepos and a lot of trans women are just doing this, just to do it. No, we're human beings. Imagine, somebody like me was to go into the guy's restroom. I would get discriminated against immediately. A lot of people don't understand that boys are crazy. Like, guys are crazy. Like, you will never understand because you are not transgender. And I'm just speaking for the cisgender folks who are coming across this video. You will never understand what a trans person is going through because you are not trans. That's what somebody needs to understand. And so, long story short, I'm going to cut to the chase. To all my trans women and to all my trans individuals who feel like, the world is over, it's not, okay? I'm going to keep repeating this throughout the video because I want you to understand. It's never going to be easy. Being trans is never going to be easy because people will never understand you and people will never understand what you're going through, and that's okay. You know who you are, so stand 10 toes down on it. Like, what do you not understand? You got to stand 10 toes down on it. I want a lot of people to understand that, life is never going to be easy. No matter if you pass, no matter if you got all the surgeries, no matter if you live your life secretly. I would never live my life secretly. I live my life loud and proud. I shine bright like a diamond because I'm Alizea. I'm black and I'm trans and I'm beautiful, and I will always stand on that. I love myself. I love everything about me. I'm black and I'm beautiful, and you are beautiful yourself. And girl, let me stop crying. Let me stop watering my eyes because, girl, I don't want my lashes falling off, girl. It took a long time to do this makeup, no shade. But you're always going to be trans, okay? And there's no changing that. So please love yourself in these hard times, okay? Because life is going to get serious, okay? Life is way too beautiful to always look at the negativity, okay? Life is too beautiful to sit over here and walk around and, let all these horrible people sit over here and, spread their opinions and spread their biases to you. You know who you are, okay? You need to build a community around you. This is the time to sit over here and build a friend group and build a support system around you. And if you don't have a support system, I'm here, okay? I'm here. I have a channel. I make content strictly for this because I know how it feels to feel lonely, okay? I've been there. I'm in that situation still, okay? But I'm growing. I'm a growing individual, and I'm always going to prevail because I'm here for a purpose. I could have died numerous of times. I could have died when I got hit by a car. I could have died when I got hit by a minivan. I could have died when I fell out of a tree, girl. I got numerous story times about that, but I ain't finna do that in this video, okay? I could have died, okay? But I'm here for a reason, okay? Life is too beautiful to sit over here and just cry on it, okay? It's too beautiful. We as a trans community, we have to stand together because if we don't, we will all fall as a community, okay? And I'm speaking real facts, okay? Stop sitting over here spreading hate. You know who you are. You need to be starting to sit over here and talk like trans women like this. You need to start thinking like trans women like this. You need to sit over here supporting trans women like this. And I'm going to say this before this video ends and before, I get off this camera. I'm going to say this loud and proud. To any trans woman, to any trans individual, to any LGBTQ member, I don't even want to say the word, girl. I'm going to say this and I'm going to tread lightly when I say this. If you voted for somebody who doesn't see you as a human being and only sees you as somebody who is delusional and who has mental health issues, I'm telling you this right now. You're stupid, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not running around it. You're stupid. You're very stupid. I can't believe there are trans women. I said this. Some people in the trans community just have white privilege. Some people just have privilege. A lot of people in this community have privilege. I have the privilege to pass, okay? I have the privilege. I could just sit over here and wipe everything off the internet, and I could go live my life as a woman in society standards. I don't have to sit over here and, be a voice for the trans community. I have the privilege to pass. But I'm not going to sit over here and flaunt it in people's faces, sit over here and say that I have the privilege to pass. I am better than you, because I'm not better than you. I'm not better than anybody. I'm a human being. We're all human beings in this world. We're all human beings in this community. And I cannot believe there are trans women still sitting over here saying that you need to sit over here and look like this. You need to sit over here and act like that. You need to address yourself like this. You need to sit over and present yourself like that. It's stupid. It's ignorant. It's disgusting. And I will always stand on this. To any trans woman who feels like the world is ending, to feel like the world is, crumbling, you don't need to sit over here and live for everybody's standards. You don't need to live for everybody's opinion. You don't need to care about anybody else. You need to live your life for you. I don't live by society's beauty standard, girl. I'm black, I'm trans, and I got this afro. I'm not the regular typical black transsexual girl. I don't wear 50-inch bust down wigs. I don't sit over here and wear the, kudos eyelashes, do my makeup dramatically like the IG baddie. I don't dress like an IG baddie. I don't live like an IG baddie. I don't live like any of these trans women. I live my life for me. I'm black, I'm trans, and I'm beautiful, and I'm Alizea. And that's something that a lot of people need to understand. I'm me. Yes, I'm a struggling trans woman. Yes, I'm not, the typical trans woman. I have clocky features. Who cares if I look like a man? Who cares if people don't see me as me? I see myself as me because I love myself. I'm going to live my life for me, and I want you guys to live your life for you. This is the time to live for yourself, okay? And I'm serious, and I want to keep preaching this. This is the time to lock in. It's going to get lonely. It's never going to sit over here and feel, like you're going to be safe, okay? When I graduated high school, I thought life was going to be so good. Life was going to be amazing. Girl, it hit me with like a rock, okay? I was homeless. I was sitting over here struggling, girl. I thought I was not going to make it, girl, but I made it. I prevailed. I got what I wanted because I'm me. And you're you, okay? You're too beautiful to sit over here and listen to these stupid, and I mean freaking ignorant trans women. These people are not the voice of the trans community, and I would never, ever, ever sit over here and engage in content like that. I don't engage in content like that. I'm Alizea. I'm black, and I'm trans, and I'm beautiful. I love myself, and you should love yourself too. Now, girl, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys wake up, because things are finna get real. And I'm finna get off this camera because I heard like a gunshot, girl. I told y'all I stay in the hood, girl, not no shade, so, I gotta make sure we good. But, I love you guys. Boom shakalaka. Get up into the big purr, whatever. Just please stand 10 toes down, y'all. Things are finna get real, and it's not gonna get any easier, okay? This is the time to lock in, okay? You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to sit over here and do some things, okay? You might even have to sell your, we're not even gonna get into that. But I love you guys. Boom shakalaka. Let me get off this camera because, girl, I gotta go make sure my door is locked. But bye, loves. Boom shakalaka. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.